Happy Friday, y'all. Just a quick shout out, of course, for our opening music. That is The Midnight playing for us, America Online. I always love opening with that. Feels very LA vibes. Actually, kind of helps me to remember to breathe. Hopefully, it was a good moment for you too. Welcome back to Biscuits with Bosses, the live podcast where we get to know leaders in the film and television industry over a spot of tea, maybe a few biscuits. I'm your host, of course, rocking some Chic Black, K. Ross, writer, filmmaker, founder of Owl Echo Entertainment. And with me, as always, today, my co host, my Ed McMahon, my East Coast buddy, Mr. Matt York. Great to have you here, Matt.
Hey, thank you so much. Love being here as always, and welcome everyone in chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to drop in chat where you're from, what you're drinking. We will be answering that question very shortly. But right now, I want to give a big shout out to our what we use to stream with. That is Restream IO. Sorry, I'm trying to find the thing here on the side.
You got it.
Anyway, oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay. We use Restream IO, which streams to over 30 channels all over the internet. We're using 3 right now, but hopefully one day with your help, we can get to 30. You can do so many things like create professional videos and chat with viewers in real time and do cool ticker tapes and all this stuff like that. So if you want to help us get there, then be sure to follow along. And one day, maybe we will be on all 30. That'd be pretty cool.
Dude, can you imagine? Speaking of support, I just want to make sure that we give a shout out to our sponsors before we meet our special guest for today. Today's episode is brought to you in part by Off Duty Thanks Leisure Apparel, the most comfortable way to connect yet respect others in the film and television industry. And of course, Production Value Software by Gemini Crown Tech. But we will give you more from our sponsors later. For now, we're just going to leave you the links in the chat so that you can follow up with more information for later. And of course, stick around for a very, very special offer from Biscuits with Bosses. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for, because you know I love meeting more awesome people in the industry, and I hope you do too. With me today, Blanca Paola Espinoza, passionate and versatile actor, director, owner of Chola Vision Production, along with her partner, Alex Alfaro. As a creative force, Blanca has a deep love for the performing arts. She started acting early and now hosts acting workshops for students that come from underserved communities and marginalized backgrounds. I knew I liked you for a reason. As a director, she finds inspiration in the everyday stories of those around her. As a native of East LA, but she built Chola Vision Productions to showcase LA culture and highlight the best of Latino Los Angeles. Of course, you can learn more about her production company. We'll leave that link in the chat for their upcoming projects on Instagram at Chola Vision. And of course, when not immersed in theater, Blanca also enjoys acting and building her astrology business on Instagram. So sure to follow her at moon_Chola. Man, I could keep going on, but I want to crack open the nut that is Blanca. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Now, of course, before we go into our getting to know you questions, I just want to check in with everybody. What's everybody drinking today?
I am having a protein shake, actually, trying to meet some protein goals.
Nice.
Wait, do you have a special protein mix that you like, or is it just like whatever works for the season?
I actually use a lot. Organics is like the one that I like the flavor of.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes like you just trying to get it in. I'm doing like a fitness challenge right now. So it's like, when you get in that head mode, and then you're like, I have to meet my goals, 120 grams of protein, however I do it, So
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Matt, what's your drinking today?
Today I'm just doing ice water, like usual, boring, but it is so good because I've already had 2 coffees, so I am like going.
I like it down. I like it down.
For the record, no
Oh.
shame in the game. If the people here are not tea drinkers, we will not judge because, of course, just like in Ted Lasso, yes, we're going to serve tea. But if you don't drink tea, we also have coffee and water. No big deal.
Yeah.
And for anybody who is here live, let us know in the chat. What are you drinking? What's your brew? because even if we have nothing else in common, we can probably chat about what your drink of choice is.
Mm.
All right, just so you know, I brought out my special retired minion mug just for this. So even though it only has water in it, I was like, but I feel like I need to bring it because the moment we started talking about astrology, I was like, yep, I need to just point out that I'm a retired. I didn't do it professionally, but I've been reading tarot forever and like learned astrology early. So I'm like, this is my acknowledgement that I am retired, but I want to tap in. All right, but I don't want to go. Let's do the rapid fire getting to know you first, because then we can dig deep.
Okay.
Cool. So first rapid fire getting to know you question. First concert, best concert. Go.
Ooh, I saw the Jaguares once when I was like 12 years old. It's like a Spanish rock.
Yeah.
And my mom took me, and it was supposed to be like super chill, but it got really crazy. Like the singer got drunk, like there was all kinds of stuff happening. Mom was like, this was definitely not the concert I should have brought you to. But it was amazing. It was so rock and roll. Imagine 11. I can't say what he was doing on stage, but it was pretty crazy. And that was probably like the best. And that was my first concert. Mm-hmm.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I just love that part of the story included, like, as concerts do sometimes, got a little crazy, and then like mom was there to witness.
Yeah. 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 Well, my dad was a musician, so I think she like was familiar with the rock world. But I don't think she was expecting what happened to happen. So
wait, we're just gonna pull on that thread for just one moment. Your dad was a musician, so like has arts always been a part of your life then?
Yeah. I actually was a singer. I was a singer first. So I started
Wow.
singing when I was like 3 years old.
Oh my
And
God.
I started singing in church. And my dad in the 70s played rock music, and then he became a Christian musician, a touring musician, singer. He has a few albums that he released. Now he's like more retired and does more like mentoring type stuff, helps my sister. My sister's also a musician. Her name's Danny. And so they sometimes collaborate on stuff. So I've been around music like most of my life. And then theater happened when I was 18. And I thought I was taking a voice class, like a singing class. But it turned out to be a voice for acting class. And that's how they got me. Yeah.
I love that little crossover where it was like, come join us for more fun stuff.
It was like, oh, like you're doing so great in voice class. You should audition for Romeo and Juliet. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, you should. And I got to play Juliet.
Nice.
Okay. Right.
They got me.
Now I have to ask, because I love me some Shakespeare. Favorite Shakespearean play?
I go through seasons because obviously I love Romeo and Juliet. Clearly I love Romeo and Juliet. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be creating what I'm creating. But I have times where I'm very, very into Midsummer. And lately, I think because it's just been like coming around, like we saw 10 Things I Hate About You, and then my kids watching Degrassi, and there was like an episode about it. And so Taming of the Shrew right now, I think is what I want to sit down and read and kind of remember. Because there are things I don't remember about it. And the last time I saw it was at the Independent Shakespeare at Griffith when they do like the free summer series.
Yeah.
And it was so incredible. I remember when Petruchio was like trying to overhear what was being said about Kate. The actor actually came out into the audience with the paletero cart. And he started like ringing the bell, like as he's like eavesdropping. And so kids from the audience literally got up and ran to him. and so did mine. And I was like, Amelie, no, like it's an actor. And she stopped. And then the actor opens the paletero cart and starts handing ice creams out to the kids that ran over to him, real ones. So I was like,
Wow.
oh, okay, go ahead. And I was just like, this is why Shakespeare is so great. You can do anything.
You can do anything. Oh my God. That is the best.
I think I'm going to go through the Taming of the Shrew season. I'm feeling a little rebellious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a spicy autumn. Just need a little resistance.
Yeah.
Honestly, Matt, I know we don't always do like getting to know you questions for you too, but I don't think we've actually cracked open your Shakespearean favorites, and I want to hear yours too.
I'm not Sure, I'm versed enough in Shakespeare.
What? Because
I've
you're a
been
fellow
in
theater kid.
I've been in Romeo and Juliet twice.
Who did you
I'm sorry.
Who did you play? Both.
In 8th grade, I played Prince Aeschylus, and then um, in the second one, or no, sorry. In the second one, I played Prince Aeschylus. The first one, I played Lord Capulet.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in middle school and high school, and then, but no, I did like that was all like Little Mermaid Junior and like a couple like one act stuff. I wasn't in theater a lot. I just all my friends were theater, so I kind of did
What they
stuff
did.
as I had time for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean honestly most of the Shakespeare stuff I know is like from AP English and stuff and reading like the main monologue from Hamlet and like studying sonnets and stuff like that.
The Great War. You know, the theater teachers and English teachers don't usually agree on how Shakespeare should be taught and introduced.
Interesting. How's that?
Yeah, because at least in my experience, because I had both experiences, and I had the teacher that taught me Shakespeare, she was like, I went to London to study theater and played and she had like a faux accent, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so there was so much more like depth and nuance, and like she always loved to play with like the wit speak and like the layers of what the wit speak means. And I feel like the English teachers focus on like historical context, they focus on language and cadence, and so they didn't really focus on subtext as much.
Sure.
And so a lot of times I find that like the English teachers have one way that they see Shakespeare, and then the theater teachers have another way, you know? They both love them, but it's
Yeah.
always different.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense. I mean,
Mhm.
he like I feel like when I was in theater, I didn't even know he wrote sonnets, like because I only did theater like extracurricularly in middle school,
Mhm.
so that wasn't a class. I only took it as a class in high school, but I learned about sonnets through my English teacher, and he is such like a wordsmith. He wrote so much that you can teach him. I feel like pretty much the same or same but different from both regards. Like it he he did so much that you can see him through different lenses and still
Yeah,
glean so much information from him.
And I
totally.
feel like I just want to, for the meta-ness of this conversation, everyone who's in the room right now, y'all, this is how coffee dates in the industry go, right? Like you go in with intentions of having like rapid fire questions, but then when you pull on a thread, you can really connect with people. And from the bottom of my heart, I love this conversation because you can start a conversation with something that seems light and then really get into, oh, we actually have so much in common. Is it possible we can, you know, continue being friends? Is it possible for us to work together? So this kind of conversation happens all the time in the industry, and I hope part of what we're encouraging you to do today is, reach out to those new contacts or reconnect with old contacts, and make it a little fun, but then find something that you can really pull on and keep going, right? Keep building that relationship. So, and also because I want to share that I'm forever much ado about nothing. Um, I love it so much.
Have you done it? Have you ever done Much Ado?
Oh yeah. Although to be fair, when I did it my freshman year of college, and the director we had come in was actually from the Folger Shakespeare Theater company in DC,
Mhm.
and I was only a stage manager. Because at the time I needed to be close to the thing I wanted to do, but I could not yet do it. Right. So my heart is really in directing, wasn't able to direct. So I had to be close to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
during, when you do like wrap party and, there's kind of like a fun green room where like maybe you exchange gifts or whatever. The crew decided we were going to do like a short mock version of the play for the actors. And I got to play the prince, the guy who was playing it, he had this physicality that was very like, he was stiff in the shoulders to the point where Like his arms wouldn't move, but he had the swagger. And I was just like, I have to point it out to him. I have to sell that I
Yeah.
see what he is doing.
Yeah.
And oh, the laughs.
It's so fun. And that is so meta. That is so fun.
It is meta.
Yeah. I did
yeah.
Much Ado by accident because I was a choreographer for like a 1940s Much Ado.
Mm.
And an actor dropped, and then the director was like, "Can you step in?" And it was Margaret. It was like the maid, you know?
Yeah.
And I just had it. Those are like the funnest roles. I just had a great old time being this sassy Margaret, you know, and holding down the choreography for the show. So I was like, oh, that's cool. It kind of worked out, you know?
Yes. Speaking of sassy, because you and I just did the LA Directors Lab for the Rom-Com edition, I'm curious, your version of romance. Sweet, salty, spicy? Like, how do you prefer your romance?
Oh, spicy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spicy.
I'm like, what is that question? I had to kind of taste it a little bit. And then I was like, Aries rising, Gemini moon. Like, give me some spice. There ain't no
I think I like sweet heat. Like I need the sweet and the spice, but yes. Yeah,
it turns out I have like I'm uncomfortable with like certain kinds of vulnerability. So even when it gets too sweet, which is funny because the scene that I did, the girl cracks jokes when it gets serious, and I'm like, low key, that's me. Like, if it gets too sweet, I'm like, hey. My partner is a poet, and so when we first started dating, he would like write me poetry, beautiful, like elaborate, like imagery, like beautiful poetry. And I would be like chuckling the whole time. And he's like, you just make fun of me. Like, you don't hear what I'm saying. I'm like, it's not that. It's that feelings make me laugh.
Yeah.
This is love. This is love.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get that. My version, I think, is I hate saying tough love, but like if you can't handle my grump, you can't handle my sweet. You know, like and I get grumpy. So along those lines, because I heard you drop some astrology. And for everybody who's in the room, we're about to move on to our next segment called the Victory Round, where we claim a victory from our past week. So I want you to start thinking about, what did I do this past week that I'm really proud of? Leave it in the chat. And while you're thinking about that, last question of the rapid fire, sun, moon, rising. And really, what do people miss in astrology that, oh, of course, my camera went out. I'll change my battery here shortly. But like, what's that other thing on our chart that we miss that you think like everybody needs to know this thing?
Wait, were you asking me my sun, moon, rising?
Yeah, your sun, moon, rising.
Oh, Libra, sun, Gemini, moon, Aries, rising. And what do people miss? I kind of have two things that I think I try to get done with everyone, because if they know, it really helps. And that's their North Node, which gives you insight as far as like what your soul came here to do and like where you can find direction, whether it's in relationships, work, whatever. Like the North Node's always going to give you some information about like what makes you feel aligned or what aligns you. And then the other one I think is Chiron, knowing your wound, because Chiron is like the wounded healer. And so a lot of times, like if your wound is Chiron and Taurus, like you have the wound of not feeling worthy, or Chiron and Gemini, you have the wound of not feeling heard. Like you'd be surprised how much it shows up where you might be operating. If you understand that you're operating from a wounded place, it makes it easier to go, okay, am I being wounded in this situation? And now that I have a word for my wound, or is this my wound of self-worth? Is this my wound of not being heard? Is this my wound of being too much, of not being nurtured? So every time I talk about the Chiron with clients, like it blows their mind, because then we can find the pattern of like either how they're manifesting that experience, or where they might be misreading something, or what they need to work on and give to themselves. So that one's always like a really golden nugget.
And I just have to underscore that for everybody. If you don't know these things, please go look up your or follow, Blanca Chola, because I feel like I've learned so much from you. But the one thing I have been touting for years is please, 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 the moment you go through your chart and you think you know who you are, just remember that that's just what you started with. And if you don't know your North Node, then you don't have a direction. You don't know how to grow from what you started with. And it is the most informative karmic bitch slap you've ever heard. Like,
yeah, because it's also something that you wouldn't choose. Like you wouldn't necessarily choose your North Node because it's not comfortable.
yeah.
Your South Node is comfortable, but that keeps you the same. And so kind of getting called out on like, you're actually here to be independent when you have codependency, or you're actually here to be a nurturer when you tend to be like a hard ass. Then you go, oh, that's why certain things are going wrong,
Yeah.
So
I kind of want to pull on this thread just one more minute, which is, okay, how has knowing astrology helped you navigate the film and television industry? Like, do you do what I do, which is like use that as a party favor, or like has it actually created some really meaningful connections for you?
Yeah, well, it's funny because a lot of my producing partners get readings with me. But almost immediately, like when I start working with someone, I try to look up their chart. And it really does help me, because if I know their Mercury placement, right? Mercury tells you, how do you think, how do you speak, how do you process information? Then that informs me on like, okay, like this is a person that I can speak to. For example, Aries Mercury. I'm not going to say the bad word, but you know what? I can just cut through it and go, this is what it is. Let's go. Bam, done. Versus like Mercury Pisces person that might need a little bit more time, a little bit more space, a little bit more time to like they kind of need you to create the container a little bit so they could dream, and then I just grab it and organize it, and so it informs me. Also knowing their like moon sign gives me an idea of their temperament, because I have had partners where things didn't work out, where things fell through, where there was conflict. And in retrospect, I think about those people's placements and where maybe I could have been a little bit more careful. If I had really taken into consideration maybe how like sensitive their moon was, or how detail oriented they were, and I wasn't like feeding that, you know what I mean? And so knowing their moon, knowing their Mercury, it like immediately helps me. I just recently worked with someone who also did the director's lab, Gigi. We did her chart, and she had a Aries moon. I always work with Aries moons. But as I saw her chart, I was like, all right, cool. Like she's going to get things done, and she's going to get them done her way. And like, I need to just be able to point the direction out and then give her space to fill it in. Cause she's also a Cancer. So it's like a lot of water, you know? And so it really helped me, cause I feel like, the shoot ended up being a little bit chaotic. And I felt like because I knew the kind of space that she needed, like when things kind of went south, normally I would be like, all right, forget, like no feelings, like, come on, let's go. This is how we're going to move forward. But because I know like Cancer, Aries moon, she needs time for like the water to settle. It's like I was able to provide that, and then we were able to push forward. So
yeah,
it helps me a lot, actually.
Yeah, I bet. Now I can't wait for you to teach a class for like bosses to actually learn this from you, because I need this. I would love to have this.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
a
love
great
to learn from you.
idea.
All right. Without further ado, because I love helping, fellow people in the industry celebrate what they're like, what good are you doing on a regular basis? Because if we wait for the accolades to really celebrate the good we're doing, then we may be waiting years, by which point we have completely flamed out because we just don't have enough energy. So for those of you who are with us and you want to claim a victory, please, please look for the effort you're making, right? Totally fine if you found out this week that you got those accolades, right? But so, for example, if you got into a contest or you got accepted or you won, I would rather celebrate that you finished the script in the first place, right? I would rather celebrate that you submitted, right? You actually put it out there, because those are the efforts that you can duplicate, not the accolades. So with that in mind, Blanca, is there something from this past week that you made an effort towards or you accomplished that you feel really proud of? And I will happily celebrate you.
Well, it's more of an, I guess that would be more of an accolade, but doing the screening for
Mhm.
um, the rom-com workshop with the director's lab was it was a pretty big deal. You know, I was a singer first, then I was an actor, and then I got into directing and like managing my businesses. And so I haven't really taken a lot of time to act. And this year I had set a goal to act more. And so I did a couple of plays early in the year. I did the lab. And then this lab, I waited so long. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. If I like, it's romance. Again, laughter, can't deal with like the softness, right? So I was like, is this like really a challenge that I want? I was in production for something else, and then like just so many things were going on. So I ended up filling out the form so late, and then at the last minute, Pam being like, "Hey, we have a spot if you want it," and I just kind of pushed the button without thinking about it. You know, I was like, "Yes, I'm in." Um, and so seeing that scene, I was really afraid that like my like being uncomfortable was going to make me feel like it was going to show. I had a great scene partner, and I really am proud of how that project came out because I saw myself in a different light. And I feel like that was a really cool thing. And then Aaliyah, who was my scene partner, she also directed a scene and asked me if she could use some of my music. And so she used one of my songs for hers, and it was just like I think it just felt I haven't actually given myself a moment to really think about what that felt like. Um,
Aw.
but it just really made me feel like, oh, the things that I've done in the past, they matter. And I love that I was able to have a song or like something that was useful to someone else that they were able to put into their art. You know what I mean? Um, and it was just really cool. It was just really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm one of the colors in like the renaissance of colors. And then especially there's so many artistic people, people that are so successful, people that are just starting out, and to see my color, like one little splash, one little line there, I was like, wow, this is so epic. Like my 12-year-old says, it was so epic. So I
it
really,
was so epic.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, I was there, and I will double down on that. It was such a great scene. It was really well done. Both your acting, your scene partner's acting, the directing, like it was so enjoyable.
mm-hmm.
I'm kind of humbled that I got to share that night with, other colors, as you say. Like that was it was really special. And so I say cheers. Cheers to
Yeah.
that.
Cheers.
And cheers to clicking that button because it could have just as easily been a no. So good for you to getting out of your own way.
Yeah. It was one of those, I know I'm supposed to do it, but my brain's going to get in the way. So just go.
Just go. Yes. Do
Mhm.
it. Mr. York, I love helping you celebrate as well. Anything from this past week you wanted to celebrate?
Sure. So as I've been chronicling over the past week or two, my computer is still not where it's supposed to be. Um, I shorted it like 2 weeks ago. It's been a whole thing. Um, but this week I'm actually like been able to sit at my computer, and it's been functional, which has been great. And this has been like the quickest turnaround I've been able to make on my own video. Like I make
Mm.
my own videos every month, and usually it takes me like a full month to do it because that's just kind of how I like schedule it out. But because I was running so short on time and I wasn't able to work on it at all last week, this week I recorded the script, got all the good takes, put that all together, put all the gameplay in, and now it is like done basically. I just need to put music in. And usually this whole process takes me, or I give myself 2 weeks to do it. So
Wow.
seeing that I could do this whole thing in basically 4 days, 5 days if you include like the first bit, was just that's been kind of cool. Like, oh, if I
Yeah.
like really put my foot on the gas and like don't worry about sleep as much, I can get stuff done. Uh, um Yeah, so it's still not ready yet. Unfortunately, that'll probably go up next week. But it's despite how difficult it's been, I'm trying to remind myself that I have shown that I can produce something quickly for my own
Yeah.
stuff if I need to.
I love that. Cheers to putting your foot on the gas.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. That is so cool.
Thank you. How about you, Kay? Do you have a victory from this week?
I feel like it's kind of half of each of yours. Like, so I stayed up way too late last Friday finishing the edit. Well, is it last Friday? It was the Friday before that. Getting it in for the screening. And so part of the victory for that screening was certainly like yours. Like, man, the moment I found out about the lab, I had already planned for my vacation, and I definitely needed that time off. And I had some sort of Tourette's. I would walk around the apartment going, fuck, because yes, I curse like a sailor. So I'm going to say it. It's okay if you don't want to.
I wasn't sure if I could.
Yeah. We're adults having adult conversations. People should just jump on the ride.
Right. Good to know.
So bring those curse words. But so knowing even the struggle to hit send, right? And be like, all right, I guess I'm spending the money and doing this thing. And then to get to the other end and just, holy cow, like we fucking did it. We did it. And I'm so excited to share the end product and being there and celebrating other people and allowing myself to be celebrated, which is hard for me. Like it was a really special moment. And then there's this thing that happens when you see the thing you make around other people, because I got notes from certain people before the screening, like my DP, who pointed out there's maybe a couple of places in there where there's some air and we should talk about maybe taking the air out. And I was like, no, I was good with it. I greenlit it. We submitted it on time. And then I saw it around other people and I was like, son of a bitch. So, yeah. But part of the victory I want to claim is that even at enjoying the refueling of my ego, because let's be honest, getting that compliment, that's part of what I'm doing is like just refueling a little, was that I was then able to accept the note for what it was, which is helping to elevate the project and go, okay, yep, I said, fuck you. I went through the fuck you phase. Now I'm experiencing the fuck me. And now we're just going to move forward and make the change. Yeah. And so I'm really proud of allowing myself to go through the entirety of the high and the low of the process so that I can continue to deliver good work. Yeah. Yeah. It feels so good.
Cheers to that as well.
Yeah, cheers.
That's amazing.
So much. You guys. Okay. And again, clearly we can have a proper geek out, but we're going to woosah for a moment because look, this is what happens when you find really cool people in the industry and you're like, look, even if we can't work together, maybe we can just hang because, you're allowed to have a life too. Which actually, before we move into our third section of the program, that kind of leads me into our sponsor promos. I just want to make sure that we give plenty of love to our sponsors. One of our sponsors, of course, is Off Duty. Are you looking for more organic ways to make new connections in the film and television industry? Which we're always looking for that. Off Duty Thanks is an apparel collection that offers the most comfortable apparel you can wear while enjoying non-negotiable time off. Going out with friends or family, keep getting asked for pictures? Wear the original Off Duty Thanks apparel, the perfect permission slip for expressing gratitude while respecting boundaries. Okay, but what if you're off duty, but you still want to make connections? You can wear our artistic specific collections to start the conversation. Just grab that contact info and then get back to your loved ones or your precious alone time. No judgment. Now, plus any purchase you make, 5% of that is going directly to Hollywood Community Fund. So this is a great way for you to help yourself while giving back to the filmmaking community. And of course, we're going to leave a link in the chat for you with a special thank you for tuning into Biscuits with Bosses. Use code BWBTY10. That's Biscuits with Bosses. Thank you, 10 at checkout for 10% off your complete order. And of course, just click the link in the video description below if you're not watching live. And just in case You're not sure how to engage with people in your off-duty attire. Every order comes with a small guide and suggested scripts so you can still connect quickly but respectfully. And of course, our other sponsor, Production Value Software. If you are an independent producer like myself or a content creator, then you know how difficult it is to stay organized. Production Value Software is the only program that keeps all your projects material together from development to delivery. This includes a checklist at every stage to make sure you don't miss a thing. Now, for more information, of course, we'll leave you that link. Just check it out in the chat, and you can receive 10% off with our special code BWBosses. All right. Just wanted to make sure that we gave credence and thanks to the people that allowed us to have this awesome episode today, because really, the thing I love talking about with my guests is the future of filmmaking. And I love that you even come from a theater background. So I feel like, what you're exploring is a hybrid of these two things. But Blanca, I want to hear from you. Like, what have you been doing to elevate the industry? And how are you hoping it kind of makes a ripple effect into what other people are doing?
So I guess what I feel is like my contribution, or has been my contribution most recently, has been through the acting workshops. We have a lot of students that have a lot of talent, that have a lot of life experience, which is what makes a good actor, and so contributing to helping them get some technique under their belt, get some confidence under their belt, showcase them, invite industry people to come, check them out and collaborate with them. I feel like my contribution is supporting them get in to doors that maybe they would not have gotten into. And that's because, like, oftentimes, people that look like they're a gangster or look like they are, just, under like from a marginalized community, sometimes it can be hard to get into the door.
Yeah.
And, a lot of the actors that we initially worked with, they, had already done extra work. They kind of knew how to be on set and things like that, but they weren't getting speaking roles. And so leveling that up, learning how to audition, learning how to put yourself out there, learning how to transform too, so that you're not just typecast all the time. Introducing them to Shakespeare, introducing them to, we dabbled in some Harold Pinter, you know what I mean? Introducing them to just different text, right?
Yeah.
Has really given them space to express themselves even more. So now I see some of our, students that have been with us for a while, doing even like modeling, doing content creation, doing, getting cast and speaking roles on big projects. And that's all of their work, you know what I mean? But I'm happy to have been supportive and just like helping them with their technique, helping them know how to show up. And I feel like my contribution is getting people who look like me, people who come from places that I come from, into the door to represent themselves.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times too, we've seen in some of the projects that have been more like international, that showcase LA, East LA, like back in the day, maybe La Loca. And then when we had like Gentified, and then we had Vida and all of these other projects that are showcasing Boyle Heights or East LA, or the Latinos in LA. And then they're being portrayed by actors that are not even from LA, that don't really understand the culture, that come from completely different backgrounds. And like, it's cool, acting is acting. Like, you should be able, just like, my actors should be able to play a, finance CEO from New York. Like, they should also be able to play, a Cholo in East LA. But also, like, there are actors that I know that would love to be able to take those roles and to portray them in a more honest way. So, so it's cool to kind of try to stretch the rubber band of representation. And then also just encouraging everybody to create their own stuff, because we live in a world where there's so many platforms and so many mediums, and we don't have to wait for like the top you know, the top guy to say like, yeah, we give you permission, we'll put you in this project. Like, you can make the project, you can sell the project, you can, you know, you can distribute the project. There's so many levels now. So just encouraging people to do that, and then also trying to take my own advice.
Right? Girl, yes. I'm so glad you stuck the landing on that, because I'm like, the whole time I had two big thoughts. One, yes, and like all the snaps, because my wheelhouse is very much coming of age. Sure, that includes comedy, sure, that includes romance, but coming of age. And so as I am delving into coming of age, I discovered On My Block, which I fucking love, because
So good
even
show,
though you've seen it,
yeah, I love it. Yeah,
I love it. And it's so quirky and intelligent and fun and representative. And for me, I call it a bridge project, right? Where it's like, okay, look, you're probably going to get most of the roles are still, they from the outside still look like you're going to get typecast. But then when you actually see them play out, you realize that they're multifaceted and really thoughtfully written. So it does give your talent a chance to show they can do something else. And I love bridge projects for that reason, but that also means that it has to have a bridge to go somewhere. You know what I mean? Let's see, you know, the businessman in New York, right? Let's see people start to think outside the box because they've seen those moments, you know? So yes, and then again, thank you for sticking the landing, because I love that you focused on what are you doing in the industry to help others. And so you focus on others first, but I'm like, okay, but let's talk about your projects too, because I do think when we get into that mentor position, we forget about, yeah, but what do I want to do? And I'm so proud that you're going back into the acting, because I feel like that is what you like. It was a heart-centered move. You did it for you. So like, yeah, let's expand a little on like, what are you doing right now for you? And how do you feel like that's, yeah, fulfilling, whether to you or to other people? Because yeah, when your cup's full, it's amazing how you can provide.
Yeah, you know, like I said, my goal was to act more this year,
Yeah.
um, and also to film like the proof of concept for a project that we've been working on for a long time, which I also plan on acting in, and I did act in. It was like just a short little piece. But to be honest, like I right now, like once we finished filming, um, my DP also told me she was going to be very busy in September. I said I'm gonna take my time with this. I don't want to rush it. And there's still a couple pickup shoots we have to do. But I felt like after just all the things that had come up, I needed to just take a break from it. I needed to do nothing. Actually, I needed to not act. I needed to not look at my footage. I needed to get away from it for a second. And I think sometimes when we get into that place where we need that, sometimes our panic makes us go, oh no, that just means I need another project to focus on. It just means I need to focus on writing my script, or it means I need to focus on doing a reading, and it means I need to focus on, you know, taking an acting class or whatever. And I think sometimes we don't honor the moments that we just need to pause and live. Like, we're creating art to showcase that we're living. And if you're not living your life because you're constantly creating art, like, where are you eventually going to pull from? You know what I mean? And so right now I feel like, sure, like I'm focusing on, you know, keeping things organized with my astrology business, and with the acting class we're going to launch kind of like one-off classes, like one-off workshops that you can learn just specific techniques, and we'll kind of target it, whereas before we would run 16 weeks workshops with like a much more intense program. And so we're kind of doing that. And I told my partner too, because he's a writer, he's a playwright, he's writing a book, he writes poetry, he's also an actor, he's also auditioning.
Wow.
And there's these like moments where it feels like, and then especially because it's like you'll see people, like people are at screenings, or they're at mixers, or they're at whatever they're at, and so you go, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm not being a color on the wall, right? But I think we need to also respect our need to live. Like, I want to respect my need to like explore being a mom, and just be a mom for a couple days, and just go to the playground and kick the soccer ball around, and like not worry about making art. And like, my kids are not going to be this age forever. I'm not going to have this moment forever. And so for myself right now, my goal this year is still to act more, is still to audition a little bit, maybe get a project or one or two more projects under my belt this year, but nothing too high commitment. And it's because I wanted to give myself, I mean, mind you, as an astrologer, we're also in the eclipse for September. And like, that was like, there's all this chaos. Like, do I want to put my hand in the meat grinder right now? Like, I'm happy for everyone that everything's going great for them. I'm on my downtime. You know what I mean? And when I'm on my uptime and you see me at the screenings and you see me on the red carpet and you see me, I hope that if you're on your downtime, like, you're not looking at me like, fuck, I should have been doing more. Like, no, bitch, chill. Like, enjoy that. Because when I'm chilling and I'm catching up on my shows and watching the other art that people are making and enjoying the other music that people are making, I don't want to be made to feel like I need to be overproducing. That's like a survival mode thing, you know? So I've set aside, I told myself I wasn't going to like really lock in my footage until I got to October. I spent September just kind of reframing myself. I did the lab, you know what I mean? Slowing things down. Excuse me. And that's for me, you know?
Yeah, man. And I just want to reiterate, because I feel like what I hear you saying, and I hope everyone kind of takes some part of that away, because what a great insight is. It's one thing to be a leader in the industry and promote a mission, right? I'm doing these actors workshops, or, you know, I'm moving forward with these projects. You know, this is how I want people to know me. But I think if you do not remember to live your life, then you don't show up and lead by example, by saying, this is how I want people to experience me. Because if you're not taking the time to have those experiences, no one is really experiencing you and that time with you. And what an incredible reminder that, like, yeah, not only do you have to live your own life too, but like, if you're going to be a leader in this industry, and Blanca, I know you don't celebrate yourself enough, so allow me to just say, off ass bitch right here. I think part of your power is that you show up and lead by example. And that is so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Big heart. Right here.
Oh, thank you. Don't make me laugh. No, just
Sorry. All right. Right. Skipping right past the emotional bit. Also, can I just say, is this a normal thing? But you're like wearing the celestial thing. And I was like, this is so perfect for your brand.
I am. I have a lot of like stars and planets and moons, and of course, I have so many of those things in my closet. Hey, look at that. You see? I love it.
It's my favoriteest blanket ever, and I almost always sit on it on my chair, so.
I love it. I love the colors.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very Wonder Woman-ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now you can see the full representation. It just fell back before.
There are your stars right there. Yeah.
For the record, if there's any reason for me to even attempt like trimming down and acting again, it would literally be just so I could cosplay as Wonder Woman. So just know that the vibes are real.
I could see that for you.
Thanks.
I could definitely see that for you. Yeah.
Also, I think we got the memo, because I just realized, like, because you're pulling off this beautiful yellow color, which is like the yellow in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my little blue just to follow it up. And Matt's got the red. Ah! The vibes are complete. Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
I just wanted to like put it all together.
I think you're manifesting the Wonder Woman thing, because you just claimed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. All right. 2 minutes, because I know you will get this, Blanca, but I just have to say it out loud. Okay. One, if you've never seen Agatha all along, please, please, please see it for that one episode about the tarot card reader where she's like, I hate saying time hopping, but she's putting the pieces of time together. Have you seen it?
I had to remember, but I do remember. Yes.
Fucking amazing. But part of the reason it's amazing is because if you have experienced it in real life, you go, oh my God, I feel seen.
Mm-hmm.
So recently I have been staying up late to get certain things done. And sometimes when you have the perfect intersection of like music and like letting your mind wander and seeing your future or remembering your past, like you can kind of put together a portal.
Yeah.
I'm not a seer, but I'm an empath, which means when I feel like I'm tapping into a past moment or a future moment, I get really overwhelmed with emotion for no damn reason. I just suddenly I'm there. And I did it last night and it was in the future. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's do this. And it was so fun because I think part of what we hope for when we manifest is, am I making the right decision? You know what I mean? And I remember in that moment, like, yeah, maybe I should get some sleep. Anyway, so I think, thank you for saying the manifesting part, but I think the big manifesting was like 2 a.m. when I was like, this is going to be fucking cool. And I can't believe I get to do this. And like, thanks past me, but like future me is going, yeah, thanks current me.
Yeah. Well, August 12th, they released an article that, and I'm trying to remember where, I think I still have it in my phone, probably bookmarked, but that they found proof, I guess, that when we have intuitive feelings, like when our intuition tells us to do something, that it's actually a message from our future self.
Whoa.
There was like a whole article on this. I'll send it to you, but I have to have the screenshot somewhere. And it's been in my head because it was in the beginning of August. And I was like, it would explain so much because I have seen my future self at times. Even as a kid, I remember seeing my future self. And then as an adult being like, this is what I was wearing when I saw myself as a kid, I've talked to my 88-year-old self. I'm like, that's a badass bitch right there.
Wait, so hold. Why did you choose 88?
It's always 88.
Oh my God, because that's the future self I've been tapping into this year because I'm currently 44 and I saw myself like, I was like, this is my midpoint. This is my midpoint. So I've been tapping into my 88-year-old self as my future self.
Wow.
Girl, what just happened?
Okay. Our old lady selves are like, sending us the messages.
Yes.
The pings. Yeah.
Okay. My heart is so full right now. Yes. Bring the pings. That sounds terrible. All right, ladies and gents, those of the audience, please know that we are wrapping up. So please, please, please do us a favor. Please give some love to our guest. Make sure that you are following her on IG. Make sure you're following her production company on IG. And of course, she's actually partnered with her partner as part of Chola Vision. So make sure that you give him some love as well. Thanks for being here, Alex. Honestly, it was so good to have you on the podcast. We could keep going, I know, but you and I both have a meeting at 2:00. So we're going to leave those links there for you. Make sure you're following. Next week, of course, we will be joined by Kelsie McDonald, actor and creator of People Powered Pictures. And of course, you'll be able to check her out on Instagram as well. And as promised, since you have stuck around to the very end, I wanted to make sure that you all had a very special offer. Those of you who know me as writer and story coach, I'll be hosting another StoryMath workshop tomorrow at 10 a.m. If you are able to join us live, I do actually have tickets still available, and I will give you a 25% off code there in the chat so that you can. If by chance you're not able to join live, totally fine. You still get the recording, so feel free to snag those tickets today. And if by chance you also are like, when I have to write, I really like doing it in person, that is also totally fine. I just won't be able to do that until November, where I'll be participating in Once Upon a Script's what is it called? The Story Within Her. There we go. This is an in-person writing retreat for women and female identifying only writers. Super excited to spend the weekend with you guys up at Lake Arrowhead. And check it out, give it a look. And again, if you want that immersion experience instead of the online experience, that's the best way to do it. Blanca, thanks so much for being here, my friend.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I had such a good time. And you're doing so much amazing stuff too. So thank you so much for thinking of me and including me. I feel like very, I don't know. I'm like, how do I word this? Like, you're also such a boss and so epic.
Thank you.
I'm getting in with the times. The young kids, they say epic.
Using that word.
And I just feel like, thank you for seeing me and like validating the things that I do that for me sometimes feel like just these little tiny specks. But yeah, I appreciate you. And Matt too, thank you so much for having me on and sharing in some convo. It was really nice to know you, to meet you.
You're an amazing guest. We're happy to have you on anytime.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Yay! All right, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next Friday. All the love. Bye.